welcome. I'm back from the tournament. The tournament was the Germans Chess Amateurs Championship preliminary round in Travemünde. It was a 5-round classical tournament, and I enjoyed every bit of it. Loved it. It was great, and I have motivation to play more chess, of course. But as always, we need to find the time, and I also need to learn. It was a reality check. Where am I standing? What are my chess capabilities? And for this, to find that out, we have International Master Balind, Nadj Hedjesi,
Hello, hello,
with us
hello, Jan.
again. And yeah, we are going to do a different analysis as always. Hello, Balind. And
Hello, Jan.
the idea is to, as you probably know by now, I'm a student of the Chess Dojo training program, and they have a super nice chess analyzing program. And we try to do it there, and yeah, we just see if this works. If it doesn't work, we are just going to change to Lichess and find out. So, checking chat, welcome, and hopefully you like it and learn something with us. Don't hesitate to share your ideas of the positions in the chat, and we'll see how all this goes. So I'm going to check now here. It was round 1. I played against Jonatan Grimm. He is from the chess club Godesberg, and he was a really, really nice person. Liked to play him, very polite, and yeah, just a nice opponent to play. And yeah, why not start with the first move? So he played e4. I was really happy that he played e4 because I kind of know what I could play. So I played, the time setting is 90 minutes for 40 moves, 30 seconds
Mm-hmm.
increment, and after 40 moves, 15 minutes additionally. Yeah,
Yeah, that is
okay.
very nice tempo.
Yeah, so I played the Scandinavian defense, as always. So I also didn't think. I just played, so nothing special happening here. He came up with knight c3. I played queen a5, which is all right. And here we have something where I thought I still know the book, but I'm not really 100% sure. So I'm going to do more opening study, of course. So Balind, I found out during the tournament that even at my
Mhm.
level, yeah, people are well prepared and they are able to just play opening so fast, and I have to think a lot, and so that gives me a disadvantage, and I'm not familiar with structures and everything. So I think opening preparation is something on my list which I need to learn, of course. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
The nowadays, especially with the computers and some programs to help us, we can organize very nice opening, and we can stay into the book. Who knows, 10,
Mhm.
12, 15 moves, especially in this situation, Jan, when you are doing all the time the same opening. So you are
Mhm.
basically exposed, and you are every time on the aim of some computer analysis. So you have to be very sure, very prepared, very well prepared for this Scandinavian, because that is very forced variation, and
Mhm.
you have to react very properly if he attacks you. Otherwise, you'll end up in very ugly position immediately after opening. Yeah, but
Mhm.
okay, do not be scared. Basically, with some standard logical ideas, just develop your pieces and be fast with the castle.
Mhm.
You can stabilize the position. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You said that it is it happens. It is super easy. You don't need so much time, 10-15 minutes, and computer will tell you, oh, play this because of this, and you can be very fine prepared very fast.
All right. So I played knight f6 here. He responded with knight f3. I played bishop f5, and then he started thinking for the first time. He took 2 minutes and 30 seconds to play bishop d2, attacking my queen, and as always I play c6 to get space for the queen.
Exactly, standard patterns all the time in Scandinavia. So as you can see, you are playing your game. That is plus for this opening, because every time the same. Queen takes, queen a5, c6. You have the diagonal for queen retreat, and that's it.
Yes.
You will end up your development with short castle, and the fight is completely okay. Maybe you're slightly worse because he keeps the center, but it's okay. You can compensate that later.
Yes. Okay, so he played bishop c4. I played e6, also a book move, I think. Yeah.
All logical, very nice.
Yeah, and then something came which I hadn't seen before, and that was knight h4. And Balind, for my next move, I took 18 minutes and 30 seconds. I was so scared. It was the first game of the tournament. I didn't want to mess it up right away. And that's why I made double, triple, quadruple times sure that I don't mess it up in the opening. And later I found out this is very standard and normal play to play bishop e7. But that actually was not the one I wanted to talk about, because in a later game I played bishop g6, which I also think would have been the better move here. Yeah.
But it's okay. Seems okay, but it's just advice. Do not take. Try to immediately put the cards on the board, on the table, to see what do you have. Bishop g4, bishop g6 was idea. So bishop e7 at the end. Do not spend 18 moves for, how to say it. Yeah, understand you were scared, and it was strange for you, but at the end, after a few minutes, just take some more radical approach and try to find A, B, C, D. Let's go, Jan. Let's go, Jan. Push yourself, your thoughts, your thinking process to force yourself to make them faster move. Make a choice. That's it. Sometimes use your intuition, and yes, 18 minutes at this moment could be who knows, maybe decisive or problem later, because you have no time,
Yeah.
not enough time maybe for the
Correct,
next moves.
yes. Yeah, and another Scandinavian came up and I was way faster afterwards. Okay. So he responded knight d5.
Yeah, exactly. That is the one of the problems why bishop g6 was better. Okay, now queen d8, only one, right?
Yes. Okay. So I think no problems so far. Everything is good. Okay. So he played knight takes f6, and also quite normal. And I don't know by now why it took me 2 minutes 30 to take that knight. It should have been done
Exactly.
in like
So
5
you can see
seconds.
that is not the problem you are thinking, and you are wasting a time for to think about your next move. That is psychological stun. How to say? You're stopped, and you cannot move. That is the problem. So try to awake yourself in that moments, to poke yourself to, okay, Jan, I need to react, do something. Okay, A, B, C, D, let's go, this one, some try to push yourself because, oh, what is going on? Why I did not take? Sometimes you have no choice. Try to see like that, you know.
Yes.
We are dying. We just need to act something, and that's it.
Yeah.
So time is going
Yeah.
out. So let's do something.
Yeah.
Would you
So,
like to take with the pawn? No, I
mm,
have to take with the bishop. Go,
yeah.
go, go.
So here I was quicker. After he took the bishop, I knew only move is to take back. And then he came up with a c3, I believe, stabilizing his center pawn. And then, without thinking, I castled short. He castled short. And then
Can
I
can
was.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Can
Hmm?
you tell me where we have the similar structure? After which opening we have the similar structure?
As you know that I don't know openings, I have no clue.
Uh-huh. That is a Caro-Kann, the modern
Mm.
Caro-Kann,
Mhm.
where the knight takes on f6 and after black takes back ef6, and we
Mhm.
have a situation with the four pawns in front of the king, and of course 4 versus 3 on the queen side for the white, but
Mhm.
very strong, very strong present into the center for black, compensate completely that how to say majority on the queen side 4 versus 3. So you should keep your pieces alive, and in that situation, in that case, you'll have a completely normal and fine fine how to say fight, proper fight.
Mhm. Okay. So now I was out of a well, middle game plan, I'd say. I had no clue what
Anyway,
to do.
conclusion is do not trade. That's the main conclusion of all of this. So just do not trade, finish your development, and you'll probably have some. Uh, you're okay with the black.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I played knight d7 as
Mhm.
I thought, well, I didn't finish development, so better finish development. And
Exactly.
yeah, so 6:30 for this easy um, way of going forward. And Balind, I don't know if you know, but you were with me in the game, and I thought a lot of your comments on earlier games. So I tried to remember, and so basically you were kind of present at the table. Okay.
My ghost.
Yes, yes, correct. Okay. So then he answered with Queen f3,
Mm-hmm.
taking the pawn, and I thought, well, kind of the only way to protect it is by going g6.
Exactly.
I was kind of okay because I had the dark squared bishop, so I think it was all right.
Yeah, of course, if it comes with your king on
Hmm.
g7, you are very safe with your king, and that pawn chains are on the light squares, which is very important to take control over the light squares, and neutralizing that bishop from a2 g8 diagonal, and also completely shut down any possible breakthrough through the b1 h7 diagonal, because you have h7 g6 f5, very strong pawn chain.
Hmm. Okay, good. Then he played rook a u1.
Mm-hmm.
And I was not sure. I was thinking like, yay, okay, that's good. But he could have also taken the other rook. And
Mm-hmm.
because the rook on f1 now is kind of stuck. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, we have an open file, and maybe the fight will now start to who takes the open file. And
yeah, exactly. So you know he's coming with his doubling the rooks, rook e2 and rook fe1, right? what else? Otherwise, that rook on f1 is pointless.
Yes,
But in any
correct.
case, I think you should play king g7. The last chance to the how to say, not last chance, the moment to stop his bishop h6. So just king g7, and yeah, you are right about that fight
And this is
through the
very good.
e line.
This is very good advice, Balind. Yeah, because I thought, well, I don't like the bishop there, but I was not sure if I should push the king or not. So that was definitely one of my candidate moves. I took 13 minutes now to think of a response. Yeah, and one of the candidate moves was certainly g7. And I
You
also,
remove your king from that sniper from c4, and when you goes up, and that's it. Maybe you can play king g7 and h5. So he cannot, some attempt like queen e3, you can stop that with rook h8. And you are stronger on the king side. Play there. Later knight can bishop. So king g7, I don't know, h5, later knight b6, knight d5, and you can fight for some space and attack on the king side.
Okay. And one other candidate move was to play b5 directly.
Okay.
Yeah, but then I thought, okay, there's no way that I make progress, because if I'd like to push away the white squared bishop, the c6 pawn is undefended. Yeah, so
Exactly.
that's the reason why I decided for knight b6.
I think it is better decision. Okay.
Okay, and then he went bishop b3 because he didn't like to lose his bishop or to exchange his bishop. And I thought, well, I can give him some pain, yeah, and keep on attacking it, well, indirectly by going a5.
It is also good move, in my opinion.
Yeah, it also opens up the rook on the a file. And then he came up with a4, stopping my pawn, which I didn't like. I would have loved to play a4, but
Yeah, exactly. So I believe this was the best move for him.
okay.
Only one.
Yeah. So then again, I was kind of stuck. Like, what can I do? What's happening here? Yeah. And then I thought, well, I could somehow improve my queen. Yeah. And
Exactly.
put it on queen d7.
Bravo, that is what I want to tell you. Pick the lady on the light squares, put her on the light squares, because you have to stabilize your the light squares. You have one deficit, and that is absent of the light square bishop. So queen on d7 seems okay, and I believe you can unpair her and give a entrance for your rook a8 or rook d8 or something. Seems completely fine. Yeah, good move.
All right. Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. So then he continued with the fight on the e-file. And I said, well, and here I'm kind of unhappy by now. I mean, I played rook f to d8, and it took me 7 minutes 30 seconds. And candidate move, of course, was to play rook to e8, yeah, to counter his coming double rooks on the e-file. And basically, if I take a look at this now, it's now, game was played on Friday, today is Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, so it's 4 days ago, and I don't really know why I played this move. So
Rook d8 you probably played because you'll end up with your rooks rook f d8 and rook a c8, and maybe your plan was to push c5. Maybe at some
yeah,
moment.
c5
But
was definitely in the books, but Yeah, if I take
Also,
it.
you probably realize if he double his rooks, he doesn't have a good spot to come down in our territory with his rooks. Completely shut down every entrance. But you are missing King G7 to remove that
Still, yes.
from the bishop, and also you now I spot probably the best move instead of rook e2, or the best move for him now was g4. The problem after queen d7, I said very nice move. One of the problems is she doesn't control anymore that f6 bishop. That is the reason why king g7 is missing, and you'll stop something like g4. Imagine now g4. That is serious punch, and after that we are a pawn down on, or we'll have a very ugly pawn structure with the double f pawns, g4, and what next, right?
Yeah.
They can pawn down.
Yeah, I get it. Okay. Balind, before that, my question would be, what would have happened if we played this? Like he starts to just take, I take, and then yeah, we
He doesn't need to take. He can play rook fe1. That is a doubling his rooks.
rook
The way to
fe1. Hold on.
double here his rooks.
Wait
And
here
also,
now.
as I said, one of the tricky problems for us is to push g4 earlier. Or now, just like this. And now, I believe, I'm not sure, do you want to trade or not? If you trade everything, look at the queen side. 4 versus 3, he'll make one pass pawn. And so, as I said, try to keep your pieces alive. So completely fine if you just come up with king g7 in that moment, instead of rook d8, just king g7, and I believe all good.
Okay.
You are ready for everything and for every upcoming threat. For example, queen f4 seems like the strongest. Please do play that, just to show you one interesting trick. And now I was thinking at the beginning h5 will be completely fine, but it's not. So king g7, queen f4. For example, he is thinking about check.
Oh, Balind, I just spotted that Tower Come is in the chat, and he's writing, "Good evening, gentlemen." So you are a gentleman and I am a gentleman. That's really nice. And he said he was looking forward to the stream since the weekend. So really welcome, Tower Come. Thank you for being here and watching, of course. And don't hesitate to give us your thoughts in the comment, and we see how that goes. Okay. So, Balind, I'm just going to write something in here, and that is to prevent white's bishop to h6 and to support the my bishop on f6 in case of g4, correct. Yes. So that is a necessary reminder for me. Okay, good. The cool thing here is as this tool is online, so here we have a little cloud icon and it automatically saves everything. So this is really well done by the Chess Dojo. Okay. So then he played rook f1, doubled the rooks on the e file, and finally
rook
say it again.
Rook fe1.
Rook fe1, yes, that's correct. Okay, and finally, Balind, I'm proud by now, I played king f7, king g7.
Opa, finally.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, so then he took 14 minutes and 30 seconds, yeah, for queen h.
Maybe he realized that he had the g4. And now after king g7, he doesn't have that. Yeah.
Yes.
This is what I spoke about. Queen f4 with idea to give you a check on h6 or something like this. Queen h3 to attack the king position on h6, and yeah. So queen h3, and now you can stop that very simply with the move h5.
I was scared. I thought about it. Yeah. I mean, I didn't do deep thinking on this. It's 4 minutes 30 for me. And I, just was scared playing h5. So what happens if he plays one of his pawns? I didn't like to have a real battle with pawns on the king sides. I'd liked to have to keep the pawn structure as is. So I was scared to play h5. Yeah. And instead, I just continued with the rook action for the e file. So what had happened if I played h5? So the threat for h6 is totally gone. And how could he kind of destroy my pawn structure? This is my thought process here now. Yeah. Probably by f3, g4, and then he would also expose his king. So that is probably nothing to be feared, or?
Yeah. Yeah, h5 it's completely fine. You should keep that pawn chain very strong and alive on the light squares, completely neutralizing that bishop, light square bishop.
I write down preventing the threat on h6. And it's equal, I believe. Okay, so we are back to my rook move here. And yeah, I didn't like his doubled rooks, of course, and wanted to get rid of them. And I believe that's why I played it. And I didn't take care about the bishop situation. And he took 17 minutes and 30 seconds, Balind. Yeah. So basically, he spent half an hour on 2 moves in a row. Yeah. And he played the bishop. And now I have the problem that we were speaking of before, that now my king needs to go out of the way, and the bishop is in a very strong h6 position.
Yeah, that happens now, and so h5 is the method how to prevent and stop this maneuver for white. And as I said, you are very stable in that safe for the king. That is probably one of the strongest castle structure with that additional pawn, because usually we doesn't have a 4 pawns in front of the castle, right?
Yes.
So you have 4 pawns, and you are completely fine all the time during the game, and some longer period your king is completely safe.
Nice, good to know. Okay, so I decided to go king g8.
Okay.
Yeah. And he played now all very fast, of course, because he spent so much time. He played queen g3.
So yeah, maybe aiming the g6 square. And now some standard pattern when we have G3, B3, G6 and B6 pawn or knight there. Standard model for him is to push his H pawn, side pawn, A or H pawn. So now obviously coming H4, H5 idea, because light square bishop aiming on your king, and as you can see, imagine his H4, H5 move directly. He wants to take on G6. When you take with your H pawn, Queen G6, the pawn is pinned and there is a problem. So maybe he is trying to to do something about
Balind and
that.
Balind. Now a tactical problem is coming up for you. I don't know if you will spot it. I didn't spot it. He didn't spot it. Yeah. So
Queen C7. Queen
I was
C7.
super lucky. So he
Queen
played.
C7 is coming.
Wait a second. So I took 20 minutes and 30 seconds and I didn't see it. Yeah. And I couldn't decide what to do. I don't know my candidate moves here, but I was kind of stuck. I didn't really know what to do. And that's why I probably traded. I was thinking a lot about the bishop to G7.
Exactly, you
Yeah.
have to do that.
Yeah.
It is how to say the only one. That is the reason why you should never allow that bishop h6 maneuver. And then when that happens, at the end, last defense is to retreat your bishop and trade him. No other way to fight against that bishop.
That was wrong. I needed to do this one here. After that, it's still equal, I believe. Yeah. And again,
probably.
now I took his rook. Yeah. And he took. And then I played rook e8. And Balind, there is a saying in bad English. It is, now we have the salad. In German, we say, nun haben wir den Salat, which means something bad happened. And I don't know if you spot the tactic, and it's so easy to see if you know it.
The tactic is somewhere with something with the back rank, right? So
yes,
it is easily to. Earlier, immediately when he played Queen G3, I spot Queen C7, but now that I think doesn't work because you also have the problem with the back rank. So Queen D6 works because you cannot take Rook E2, Queen F8 is checkmate. Queen D6 also is not available. Rook takes rook, and there is a checkmate. And with Queen D6, multiple problems. The bishop on F6 is hanging. Queen trades. Rook on E8 is hanging. Sniper from B3, very tough and very strong piece on H6, and some multiple problems. Probably we doesn't have a good response
this is
against this.
just a super pain. I can try to do some variations here. So as you said, the bishop is hanging now. Only way to protect it, well, two options, is first taking the queen, but then we have a checkmate.
Yeah, exactly.
So ouch. Then the next thing is we can do is going to d8. Yeah, but with d8 he could give us a check. Only way to stop it is taking with the queen, and then he takes with the queen and is a piece up.
And
but hold on. He's a piece up, but I could have given him a checkmate.
Yeah, maybe, but let's go back.
Yeah, how far?
Back one move or something. We should see do we have something better for him. Also move earlier. Back. So in the moment, Jan, when you are going back with your queen on d8, and you cannot take the queen. Let's see what. Yeah, at this moment, okay, the bishop is hanging. Does wait a sec? Does bishop g7 works? Maybe bishop g7 works. Oh no, that doesn't work because queen takes on d7 and later the rook is hanging. So queen d8 is maybe the best one, but how we can break that? Maybe now again something like oh, just a sec. Do we have something like queen c7? No, we doesn't have. Okay, no queen c7. Then what can we expect for white? You have a queen. You have a queen f6. I don't. Oh, we have a queen f6.
Where, when?
Now.
If he takes now?
Exactly. And
True,
bye-bye.
I cannot take because of the checkmate. Correct.
Yeah, you cannot take because of checkmate, and that's it.
Yeah, true. So, yeah, nothing to defend here, right? I cannot take his rook. Cannot take the queen. So
That's
this
it.
is, of course, hold on, it is white is winning. Where do I have this white is winning thing? Here, white is winning on this one. On this one, I also have white is winning. And basically with every variation, white is winning with queen d6.
We are exploiting that situation where the king is stuck and the back rank is big problem. So you can sacrifice everything, synchronizing two heavy pieces to act on the piece on the back rank, and some back rank threat completely stun every chance for objective and normal defense. So you are losing a big material, and also later you are not out of trouble. So it's over. It is over.
Yeah. So I was
Yeah, but
really happy
that
that he didn't
happens.
see it.
I understand that queen d6 is really strange, and yeah, it was completely poof. Like,
yeah. And I was happy that he just needed to play fast because he spent so much time before, and he played
yeah,
everything in like 30 seconds, like right out of the bed. So, and Balind,
yeah, some.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, just go ahead. I want to go back to move 21 because Tawakam was asking a question.
No, I just want to add, this is like some kind of thunder from the clear sky, nothing here, and bam, queen d6,
Yeah.
completely wow, shocking move, and that happens. That happens often in I don't know, even much stronger games, master games, because we have that path, how to say, thinking process where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 immediately going in specific direction, and sometimes we completely oversee that. Oh, maybe I have this, shortcut, or some thunder bomb instant breakthrough, or some very strong tactical opportunity. But yeah, that happens. So he probably didn't notice that queen d6, or he played just queen g3 because maybe I mentioned that idea h4 h5 and nothing else.
Yeah. Alrighty, then we go shortly back to move 21. Tawakam was asking, why did I go to g8 instead of h8? And I thought it might be good for having the king a little more into the center, And if I would have gone g7 in the next move, it wouldn't have mattered, I think. Yeah. So basically, the idea behind g7 and g8 instead of h8 was just to have it a little bit more to the center. So that was my reason.
But basically, you will not stop that idea, Queen d6. That coming also.
Yes,
So
correct. Yeah.
also, I'm supporting your choice with King g8 because you have protection of f7 pawn, so the queen could, you know, do something else. She doesn't need to stay there on d7 to protect f7 pawn. Anyway, yeah.
Alrighty. So then we know that rook e8, yeah, was basically a blunder because he didn't see queen d6. But again, in time trouble. Well, he was not really in time trouble, but somehow already. So, yeah, we have he had 18 minutes left. Yeah, and 16 moves to go. I had also 16 moves and 15 minutes left. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So here I didn't think for a little second. I took, and then he came with h3. Yeah, and I thought this is really awkward. This is not really helping. This might be something where Balind say it's a grandpa move. But I'm not
That
sure.
helps about exit. There is a window for the king. So yeah,
Yes, it gives
usually
him.
at the beginning that is a grandpa move, but now it's a exit for the king, and he needs to do that. Yeah.
Okay, so it gives him Luft, as I learned.
Luft, exactly, Luft.
Exactly. And the other thing is, I was wondering if he was preparing g4 by now. Yeah, but I thought
Yeah.
this is not
No.
he is weaker on the king's side with the pawns, so it doesn't help him to push g4. That was my
Yeah, maybe
idea.
was maybe better choice for him was the move king f1 to protect queen e2, to protect queen e1, and any entrance through the e file. You have that open file for the queen. With king f1, he can stop that everything. But in any case, your next moves or idea should be connected with bishop g7. You must somehow move this bishop from h6. Otherwise, the squeezing over the king and no air for the king. He can't breathe, and also no activity for the queen. She's the in obvious problem. She must stay back like a guard for the back rank. So
Yeah.
completely necessary rotation back bishop g7 must be played. Or yes, yeah, exactly, yeah. We'll see. Let's check.
Okay. So I played queen d8.
Okay.
And why did I do that? I think I don't really know now. Probably something with bishop h4. But
Can I tell you? Can I tell you why? It may sound very rude, but you actually doesn't have a good move. You are in kind of zugzwang. Your knight doesn't have some brightest perspective. Knight c4, knight a5, knight d5 doesn't available. Now,
yes,
if you go
everything.
back, knight d7, where next? e5, c5. Occupied, so you don't have a good move and you are just waiting for something, but actually it's completely necessary, and that is coming. Do you want or not, you'll be in obligation to play that bishop g5 or bishop g7 to remove that bishop, and that is very deep, very deep controller killer in our territory, so you must remove him. But okay, queen d8 is completely fine.
Yeah, hold on. Towercom just wrote on move 25 here. What does he say? He says on move 25 he needed to meet your threat of mate in 1. Ah, that's with the Luft. Yes, correct. Yes.
H3. That is the reason why. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, so I played queen d8. No better move possible. So he took 5 minutes 30 from his little time to play the bishop move.
He removed his bishop from h6, right?
Yeah, and the threat is going c7, attacking the knight and the queen simultaneously.
Okay, so maybe now it's time. You prepared queen d8, you are stabilizing the d5 square, and you will not break your pawn structure, keeping them together, right? So maybe now it's knight d5 completely fine and good opportunity for you. Did you play that?
I played queen e7. And yeah, I believe it is just to get out of the threat.
Okay.
And also still, well, there's no obvious danger anymore because he gave his king Luft with h2. But still, I like to have the queen on the open file. That's the reason why.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. He followed up with the idea, bishop c7, and I went for queen e1.
Okay, all seems like all normal, but yeah. Now it's question what next, where to come with your knight, and do you have some plan?
Yeah, the problem here already was that there was still 13 moves to go. I had only 14 minutes, he had only 10 minutes. So it was kind of like no time for real deep thoughts. It's just like don't make a mistake and hope your opponent does one. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So
Okay.
after bishop c7, queen e1, king h2,
only
only
move.
one, and
only move king h2. Then I played knight c8 after 8 minutes and 15 seconds. So I couldn't decide, shall I put it on d7 or shall I put it on c8? And 8 minutes 15 in this situation is way too long, I think. So
yeah, especially at the moment when you doesn't have so much time, and sometimes every seconds count. Of course, you have 30 seconds additional time after every move, but yeah, it means a lot, and yeah, make even more pressure and make you nervous even more if yeah. In
So,
any case, okay.
Yeah, let's just check what would have happened if I went to, I mean, somehow a8 is really bad because it's not on the edge, it's in the corner.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
7
Yeah.
or
So,
knight.
okay, so I played nd7. What could he have done then? I would have gone probably for queen d6. But that would leave, well, I am then the knight is hanging. I need to do something. And I can only go here, but this all leaves my b7 pawn somehow vulnerable.
You have only one move, that is to come back with your lady. Queen e8.
Correct. Yes. Queen
Nothing
e8.
else.
Or what would happen with queen e7?
Basically, and the problem is if you trade the pieces. As I told you at the beginning, your job is to save the pieces. Otherwise, you are completely lost with a very simple model. Imagine now if you trade the queens and if you trade two light pieces for two light pieces. There is a pawn endgame. Very simple, very easy task for white is to force some trade and break through on the queen side where he is stronger and he have a 4 versus 3. So he's coming and he'll break you, and that's it. You are completely lost.
Hold on.
You should never end
Easy
up with
break.
some
Easy break through
4 versus 3. Majority
4
queen side majority
versus
gives him
3.
a very easy and simple path to victory.
Okay. So there I'm so unexperienced. I have no clue. You still know that endgames are my
You should
weak.
just keep all of your pieces alive. So do not trade nothing. That was the reason you don't want to trade bishop g7 like bishop for the bishop, but you saw that the queen d6 was a consequence because of that squeezing and very low amount of space around the king all the time. Threat, back rank, and other problems. So king g7, h5 was necessary to build some fortress around king, and also doesn't allowing a simple trade. So you will completely end up the development process with your rooks d8, c8, or something like that. But as I said, the idea is do not trade your pieces, and that is completely fine about structure 4 versus 3. He cannot uh, he doesn't have a clear path like he have in some rook or queen or pawn endgame. Just simple 4 versus 3. That is the reason why we should play there where we are stronger. So we need to push our 4 versus 3 pawns. For that actions and activities, we need the more pieces. Otherwise, who's gonna support them? And yeah, just keep your pieces alive. This is a standard structure in every Caro-Kann system, where white takes the knight on f6, ef6, and short castle, and black have a less pawn on the queen side. So he doesn't want to trade the pieces because imagine now, it's a super simple task for him: c4, d5, pass pawn. That's it. Which is one small but very important advantage, especially in endgame. Also, with this trade, your pawn on a5 is hanging, and that is a clear pawn down. I don't believe you can survive that endgame.
Yes, true.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I forgot about that right now while I was speaking of it. Correct. So
That was the
let's go
reason
back.
why
Yes.
knight d5 was better in my opinion, not queen e7, because in any case he's gonna play bishop c7 and a5 is hanging. So only active and in my opinion good defense was to play knight d5 few moves earlier instead of queen e7. So that is the move number, I don't know, few moves back. When he played bishop f4, in that case with the move knight d5, first of all, you are attacking the bishop. You are preventing bishop c7, and you are forcing to do something. So instead of queen e7, exactly here, knight d5. Still very unclear what next. Will he take the knight? He doesn't have bishop c7. A5 pawn doesn't will survive, and that's it. I don't know. Maybe he's slightly better because of statical advantage, that pawn structure 4 versus 3, but after this one, as you can see, I don't see the
Balind,
clear path.
what would have happened if he played this? Then I just take his bishop, right?
If he played h3,
Yeah. No,
or
if he
if we
played
close
c4.
But that is very bad. You will take his bishop and you will take his pawn, and you will
Okay,
take
good.
another pawn. So it with c4,
Yeah, okay.
he will not blunder one pawn. He will blunder 2 or 3 pawns directly. That is
Okay.
strange and crazy. And you can take with the queen. You can, yeah. If you take with the queen, then b2 also is hanging, and
Okay.
it's actually not possible to be protected, to protect him. Yeah.
Okay, so this is something where I would need to look for what's white's best move here, because this is clearly something I should have calculated during the game.
So c4, even if you don't have something forced, knight b4, and you are very comfortable there on b4, because that is completely how to say, a hole for our pieces, and good base to land.
But what would you have played being white here?
Probably look at this variation. It is very interesting. Bishop e5.
Bishop e5.
Bishop e5, yeah. And in that case, you should play king g7. That's it. Or maybe not. Maybe I can go back with my bishop d2. I'm sorry. At this moment, who knows? Maybe it is not good enough to trade everything. Or maybe king g7, bishop d5, queen d5, bishop trade, and queen c7. Something like that.
Okay. This is something I will need to look up afterwards. Okay, so I will write a short note here.
In any case, king g7, I think that is completely fine.
Okay, so this is something where I need to take a look. Okay, so good. Then you were here, knight c8. We took a look at knight d7. Yeah, so yeah, I played knight c8, and here I wonder why, but I thought here I would lose the game because he didn't take the a5 bishop pawn. I mean, there was
Which is
nothing.
strange.
Yeah, I don't know. He played queen e3, and I don't know because there was nothing to be afraid of for him.
Exactly.
I don't
But
see a threat.
also, Jan, look like this. He can do that also later. So you should play b6 to protect that. Otherwise, he's going down. But when you play b6, then another problem. Bishop c4 to infiltrate the bishop on a6, attacking the knight later on c8, and in any case, seems like your pawns goes down, and I believe you are at this moment. I don't know, maybe even lost.
Yeah, I was again. I was super happy when he didn't take. Yeah, so let's just go through it quickly. Here he takes the pawn, and then what is my next best move? I can attack his pawn now with the queen.
For example, it is crazy story. If you push b6, he have a queen b8, so he's coming.
Wait a second. You said I should play b6.
If you play b6, I think the best move for him is queen b8.
Queen b8. Okay.
Back rank all the time.
Yes. So I have a double attack on the pawn now.
Exactly. So something like queen e8 doesn't help. He can take bishop b6. And that's it. Or if you go with Desperado, he's hitting us first. So if you take the bishop, he'll take the knight. Let's go with that. King g7, only one. And now, poof, he can he can take that. He can play, for example,
And then it's
just go
4
back.
versus 1. Yes.
Just go back. He can force you to come back. For example, he can, instead of taking the pawn, he can play queen c7, attacking the f7 pawn.
Yes, true.
That is also really ugly. And when you come back, then he have a sweet choices: queen c6 or queen a5. With the main problem from the beginning, more pawns on the queen side, majority, and just he'll start to push them, and there is a problem. Too much free pawns, connected free pawns.
No chance.
No chance.
Okay, so again here, if he takes, what I could have done, so just attack his pawn, like going here, or
maybe 97. Maybe 97 to solve that eternal problem about back rank. So
yeah, but with knight e7, I also have a problem with knight e7. Hold on, where are we? We are here with knight e7. He could have just gone to this one here, attacking the king
but
and
g7. No, the problem is he'll be also attacked. So the lady is not anymore connect with the king. She's out and she's far away on the other side.
Yes.
Being greedy about that pawns, taking some pawns, I think that is unnecessary decision. So I think also this queen b8 maneuver is not the best one, because okay, you'll take the pawn, I'll take on f2, and it could be really dangerous for you. f4, f3, bishop g5, bishop f4.
Not so fast, hold on. It is okay. Now the idea here would be for me, say it again.
Your king is completely fine. Yeah, I like bishop g5, bishop f4, or f4, f3. That is also really tough. f4, f3, pawn. Play there where you are stronger, Jan. That is the from the beginning all concept. He's gonna push the pawns on the queen side because it is logical and normal to make some advantage 4 versus 3. It is objective how to say, small skirmish, and he'll do that, making a pass pawn at the end. But you should keep your pieces alive and also play there where you are stronger, and you are stronger on the king side. You must do something because you have more pawns there, so more you have bigger control, and that is where you need to make some counterplay. Otherwise, you'll be squeezed on the queen side very easily.
Okay. Okay, here I see, of course, a problem if he plays the bishop to b4, double attack on the knight. So,
as I said, that is not priority. You can play bishop b4, and the priority is I'll give you a checkmate, f4.
f4.
With the black pieces. Exactly. So play bishop b4 for white. You are not in obligation to do something with
okay.
You can prepare bigger threat. And now after f4, you have minimum perpetual check. Queen g3, queen e1, queen e1. So minimum draw, and probably he is not satisfied with that epilogue where he is with 1, 2, or 2 pawns up. He's taking a draw, but that is minimum. But if you push f3, I don't see how he's gonna stop queen g2 checkmate.
Okay.
That is also very, very ugly threat.
Okay.
So compensation is real. You have that fight on the king side.
Okay. Yeah, so again, I was wondering why he didn't take the bishop. I think I would have lost the game. Not immediately, but for sure I would have lost. Yeah, so I was happy when he didn't take. He played queen e3. And here I didn't know what better thing to do than just retake.
You have to do that, otherwise queen
Mm.
e8.
Yes.
Yeah, you probably don't like, you
Mm.
don't want to trade the ladies at this moment,
Yes.
but you
Mm.
don't have any other any good move.
Yes, correct.
Queen e8 is coming and bye
Yeah.
bye. So that was
Okay.
completely
So
necessary.
he retook,
Uh,
and then again I had to think of what can I do, and
uh,
yeah,
Now
he
bishop g5, right?
yes, bishop g5.
So,
Yeah.
and
So
that is a chance. I for die. If he
mm,
takes on a5, you will take on e3. Oh, who
mhm.
knows?
Very good. And if he moves forward, I get a passed pawn, which is nice. Yeah, so
Of
that was
course.
quite interesting. I had 6 minutes left for 10 moves, and he had 10 minutes left by now. Yeah, so after
Mm,
bishop g5, he played bishop f4. Yeah,
okay.
and then I played bishop d8. I was scared again. I didn't want to exchange. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
well, I think here you can see I took 23 seconds. Yeah, and it was just play fast, don't do a major mistake, don't no deep calculations, and that's just what it was. Okay, so
In the previous move, Jan, I'm sorry,
which one?
you can play very cool bishop g5. It is okay.
Yes.
Bishop
Hmm?
g5, bishop f4, and you have actually really cool move. You can play h6, and if he decides to take your bishop, this, how to say, fantastic four double pawns controls everything. King f8 and f6, and you're completely fine.
King f8 and f6.
Exactly. So play, for example,
Hmm?
king g1, king f8, and king f2, f6. How he's gonna
This looks
break
funny.
this?
Hmm?
Actually, that is the reason why I joke with Fantastic Four.
Hmm?
But look at the power of them. You can see the control all around them.
Hmm.
H5, H4, G4, F4, E4, E5.
Hmm.
Where is the problem? They are mobile. They control the space in front of them, and they defend the space around them. So I don't think that is the
This
bet
looks
for
so
you.
funny. Hmm? Okay. So this is equal, right? Hmm?
This is maybe, I
Hmm?
don't know. Yes, this is equal, but maybe you're slightly better if you establish the control
Hmm?
on the central square. Knight d6, knight e4. Who knows? King
Hmm?
will end up closer to the center, and I think you are completely fine. And
Hmm?
yeah, minimum equal. What to say? I
Okay.
cannot
Hmm?
easily make some fine and eternal assessment about this one, but I
Yeah.
think
Hmm?
you are fine.
Okay, good. Then we are here with the bishop back to d8. Yeah,
Okay.
again, just don't make any mistakes, Jan. No? And
Mhm.
then he played king g3. It's yeah, just centralizing the king. And I said,
Exactly.
well, what you can do, I can do too. So I played king g7, and
Hmm.
then he yeah, further centralized the king, and I played f6, and I was not too sure about f6 here, and well, basically
Maybe
I
because
wasn't.
of that, better decision was to jump with your king on f8 instead of g7. So instead of king g7, you should play king f8 and then
Yeah,
king e7.
yeah, I was not so happy about f6 because it closes the bishop line diagonal.
Yeah, yeah, I
Mm,
understand, but
mm,
The problem is his bishop from that b3 on that a2 g8 diagonal. He's aiming and he's blocking our faster entrance with the king into the center. So maybe we should keep that pawn on f7. But yeah, okay, it's different approaches.
Okay.
I don't see the progress for him, so all good.
Okay. So again, I played f6, and he decided to play e4 now.
Okay. And maybe he made mistake with the king e5 at the end. Does he?
We'll see. So what did I do? I said, well, attack, and just try to push forward with the pawns. I have more on the king side, and he has only 2 here on h3 g2. I thought, well, maybe something will happen. We'll see. So he played the bishop back to d2. And
okay. And now you took on e4 because finally you have knight d6 with the tempo.
No, I didn't. I played knight e7.
Okay.
Because I thought I need to bring my knight into the center where it has more squares.
That was the best path to take the pawn and knight d6 with a check, right?
Hold on. So this one
Take the pawn and knight
takes,
d6 later.
and then knight e6, you say.
D6 check. And concept of fortress is very strong and stabilized into the center, and he can't go further with his king. He need to go back, and then maybe you can start to push your pawns, play there where you are stronger, f5, next one. Something like that. Yeah, but playable, completely playable position.
Okay. I didn't think of this. Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so what happened is he took on my my f5 pawn. And of course I needed to retake here.
And now we will end up in the same similar situation, or not similar, the same situation if he comes with, if he tried to break through that blockade with king e4, knight d6, and ricochet some punch back, you know, and he, instead of going further, he need to come back and back with the king.
Okay, so then yeah, we had like 4 more moves to go, and by now he had 4 minutes to think, I had 5 minutes to think. With the 30 seconds increment, I thought we were kind of safe. Yeah, and he played g4. I needed to go away with the knight, and yeah, I thought best thing is to bring it back to knight e7. I was shortly thinking about h4, giving him a check, but that just wouldn't have done anything, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So he
This
came...
was okay. This was the best decision, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. So he played c4, finally starting to push his queenside pawns.
Exactly.
And I was, of course, scared because I knew he had 4 pawns, I only 3, so I needed to defend somehow on the queen side. I didn't see him...
Now you have very, very cool move like h5.
I would never play h5 Balind because I would be scared, but it would give him 2 double pawns. Yeah, and
you can just bring your king on h6 and his pawn on
hold
h5.
on, would he have to take?
Okay, he doesn't need to take, but in any case, you want to trade everything what is possible there on the king's side, and in that case, you're completely fine. You cannot lose, or very very difficult to lose this endgame.
Mm-hmm.
You will just spend your weaknesses. H7 is isolated and alone. When the real fight starts, your king
Mm-hmm.
has to be into the center. So you have a pawn chain f6 and g5. So the last problem for you is that h pawn. At the
Mm-hmm.
end, will you push maybe you can also push the pawn h4 and he's
Okay.
deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Some situations with a race, you will take his h3, remove the knight and rush with the pawn. So it's much better he's on h4 instead of, for example, h7 like at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Understood. All right. So I decided to play bishop c7 instead.
That is also fine,
Mm-hmm.
Jan, and you are improving your bishop, taking control over
Mm-hmm.
this diagonal, and you'll see even later h5 is completely fine and available.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Okay.
just some priorities. Maybe h5 wasn't the best
Mm-hmm.
move. Maybe this is better choice.
Yeah,
But like
I
idea, I
thought
mentioned.
about h5. I remember that situation in the game. And
Hmm.
Balind, what I would like to tell you is, you know how stressful these endgames are for me with lots of pawns, and if you make one move, it's immediately lost and everything. And you remember when you started doing this analysis session when you said, well, I was there as a ghost. You really were, because I remember when before the tournament, when we said bye and good luck for the tournament, you said, Jan, and be strong and keep on fighting. So here I really
Yeah,
was like Balin telling me always, Jan, keep on calculating, don't give up, don't just make stupid moves, keep on fighting, because it is so hard for me to see the possible calculations here. And you really were there with me. I remember 3, 4, 5 times during move 30 to 40. Keep on fighting, Jan. That's what Balin said, and just give it your all. And I tried. Okay.
yeah,
So.
good
mm,
work, Jan.
mm,
Also, you mentioned that a lot of pawns everywhere, and a very low amount of time. So
Yes, it's a
double
pain. Yes.
pressure.
Mm,
Okay.
yes.
Still, now this type of moves could be completely unexpected for the opponent. Your opponent h5 again. In multiple occasions, in multiple situations, he doesn't stop that h5. And now, when you do that, or maybe you push h6, but you have no any more problems about that h pawn. That is the reason why I'm speaking all the time about that. That is your potential weakness, and
Mm,
that is your weak spot. So remove that, and you're stronger, just
yeah,
like that.
and okay, so I'm going to write this down because I didn't think of it during the game. I mean, I thought of it, yeah, but I decided against it. That's why I need to write down. Just move h6 or h5, and the
The problems are gone.
problem pawn is gone. Okay, and the king is free to go.
Exactly. So
Mm-hmm.
you need that how to say obligation and necessity
Mm,
for us to bring the king into the center. And if he's pinned and how to say occupied for that small pawn on h7, that is a big problem. At one
mm,
moment, we need him. We need him into the center, strong and
mm.
uh, centralized. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Instead, I played b6.
Hmm, strange, but okay.
Yeah,
Not.
think my idea behind it was somehow um,
Yeah,
I
to
get.
free up the bishop, right?
Yes, correct. Okay.
Mm.
So, and now he went to the time control with bishop d3.
Okay.
And I played finally h6.
There's some.
Okay.
You should do something with that pawn, right? And that is necessary at one moment. It is better if you spot that problem earlier, then you earlier solve that problem with h5 or h6, and your king can start the bet,
Okay.
his own bet.
Yeah. So he played king e4.
Okay.
And I
Again,
was...
look at this, Jan. How fancy idea you have here. f5.
f5 is a good idea, you say?
I think seems really fancy, really charming.
The question is why?
Gf5, king f6, bringing the king into the center, and if I see well, he's not capable to protect the pawn. So gf4, gf5, and then king f6.
But
And
what
you are
happens?
reducing.
Okay, so my normal thought process here would be, if I do this, he would just take.
Exactly.
Yeah. And
It's
then,
normal
yeah,
process, and then you are bringing your king up.
yes.
Attacking this f5 pawn twice. And as you can see, the concept of fortress and that idea the king can't break through that barrier built by invisible wall built by our pieces. d5 protected by c6 pawn, e5 by the bishop, f4 by the pawn on g5, and you can see you are faster. You trade faster your pawns on the king side, and there is 2 versus 1, so you'll probably you're gonna make first that pass pawn, which gives you small advantage. You are slightly a little bit faster.
Nice, Balind. Didn't see that. Yes, so I think slight advantage.
At the end, all this story is connected with one very famous phrase I mentioned at the beginning. Jan, play there where you are stronger. 3
Yes,
versus 2,
correct.
or 2 versus 1, or 4 versus 3. You should play there on that side where you have more pawns, because you have more control, and you are taking control over more squares.
Okay. Good. Nice. Nice to notice. I wouldn't have done that in a million years, probably. Okay. So, he came up with d5. And as we
Now,
had...
very interesting question. Will we stop that with the c5, or will we take that, or will we what next? Yeah,
We
it
played
is
bishop
interesting.
d6.
You played bishop d6,
After
really?
after almost 6 minutes of thinking, yes.
Oof, oof, ah, oof, 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 ah.
Oof, oof, ach.
Oof, oof, ah. At this moment, I think this was the key moment. Just go back with your bishop. I think you can completely finish with his bishop on d3 with the move c5, making his
Oh, we
bishop
have a
very.
subscriber. It's really nice. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Welcome. So bishop on d3 becomes big pawn, and that is the problem. So what do we have for white after that? So c5 completely untouchable. All these pieces on the light squares. Also, that bishop doesn't have a clear path how to come and how to enter in our territory. So c5 block the pawns. Next idea is to make a rotation with your knight, knight c8, knight d6. And the biggest plus for you is your bishop finally becomes completely free. So please push that move c5. Of course, now it's super simple. If you allow your bishop e5, he is doomed. it's over. If you now if you step with your bishop on e5, that's it. b2 is hanging. What to do? And at the end, simple rotation: knight c8, knight d6 check, removing the king from the center, and then you'll see finally that f5 is coming, and you're playing with the pawn up on the king side, and that's it. Bishop, light square bishop, doesn't have any available target, and actually he's doing nothing. So that is the reason why I think this move is the best choice for you. So he need to play bishop c3 to prevent your bishop e5 entrance, but then after bishop c3 you are free to go, for example, bishop f4 with the same moment. Please, bishop c3 and bishop f4. Bishop c3 for white, exactly, to prevent bishop e5, and you should play bishop or bishop h2. It's not important, completely fine wherever you go with your bishop. The main point is you have a rotation: knight c8, knight d6. When you remove the king from the center, unstoppable bishop e5 is coming, and that's it. Concept of fortress is still unbeatable, and you're completely fine in this endgame.
Nice.
If we compare what was into the game, you played bishop d6, and probably you allowing him to go deeper with his king and make some troubles for you. But let's see what was there. Very interesting game. What to say?
Bishop b1. And I was not sure about this. I thought this would do nothing. I didn't see any purpose.
I lost you for a sec.
Okay.
Can you?
He played bishop b1.
Oh.
And I didn't see any purpose, so I thought he would be finally kind of okay with the situation and just playing moves. Yeah, but I really didn't see anything behind it. Then I played c5.
Probably because doesn't exist nothing. And yeah, now you play c5.
Yes. He played bishop e3.
And your idea, my idea coming a few moves later, right? Bishop e5.
Correct. Yeah, and then we had this fortress thing, and I could just move a king back and forth.
Okay.
Yeah, and here we agreed upon a draw.
I was scared, yeah.
You were scared that it is a draw?
That is the way you'll end up this game. But I honestly believe if you continue to play, you have a much better chances to win. And also I saw he's, how to say, tapping into the same spot. Nothing, just tap with the bishops, taking no action and no responsibility for some future actions and activities. He's just waiting your aggression. So probably you have a clear path with the bishop e5, knight c8, knight d6.
Not so fast, Balind. Sorry, not so fast. First, we need to say hello to Mariko. Mariko is just in chat.
Hello.
So, hello, Mariko. Nice that you're here.
So, welcome.
Yeah, and you missed a lot of stuff, and we're already through the game. We are at a draw, and now Balind said, Jan, you should have played on because you could have won. And my question here is, of course, to Balind, how?
For example, as I said, bishop e5, first move. King g6 is completely unnecessary. You should keep him back on f7. So just go back, and maybe you can play bishop e5, forcing some actions like b3 that is completely necessary, right? And now I think you should play knight c8.
Knight
First of all,
c8.
the idea is to remove the king from the center, and then we'll see how we can progress through the dark squares. Basically, we are acting ninjas at these moments because we have completely control over the dark squares. If you trade the dark square bishop and imagine bring the knight on f4, who's gonna protect h3 pawn? He need to go back to retreat his king from the center, giving a space for our entrance, for our king entrance on the dark squares, ninja style. That is the way how maybe you can win this one. For example, what he's gonna do? What do you think? You know, I'm telling this one because you have a clear path for improvement, right? So knight d6, king e7, step by step will be push
Let us just play this through. So what is his next move now?
Something like king f3. That is the best one. Otherwise, I think he's in trouble. King to f3.
Yeah, so he just likes to avoid being in check.
And also opening that diagonal for the light square bishop, so he needs to retreat.
Okay. Okay.
And now knight d6. You're okay. As you can see, his dark square bishop can't break through, and we actually wants to trade that dark square bishop because we are we are coming deeper with our king on the dark squares. So what can we expect at this moment? I don't know. We can. You can see he's stepping into the same spot. He doesn't have a target. He doesn't have a way to improve something. So it is a problem. I don't know what he's gonna do. Bishop f5 maybe. Is that fine or maybe questionable? Bishop f5, but you are going further with king e7. Play that, or bishop d3, for example. He's waiting.
Balind, are you okay if we just follow with the engine here?
It is okay. Probably,
Maybe
maybe it is. That is minimum equal. We can turn on the computer, of course, but I believe that this is minimum equal. But who knows? Maybe winning for black. If it's equal, white should keep that blockade, and he cannot allow you to go deeper. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's try to play some moves, computer moves. Let's fight again.
It is dead equal according to the computer. All three
Let's
lines
go.
are giving 0,
Play
0.
few moves. Play a few moves. Okay.
So bishop
play
f2.
Few moves.
Hold on, bishop f2. Hold on. Here, bishop f2.
Bishop f2. Okay. King e7.
Yeah, the computer line is king f8.
King e7. I'm computer now,
Oh,
Jan.
okay,
Please.
you're okay. Okay, let's go.
I'm a black computer. I doesn't care about the computer.
Okay, then
I want to show you, you know, the moments when he can be slip away very fast and in very just one reckless move and bye bye. So the equal is because of the concept of fortress, and he need to keep that blockade all the time alive. Otherwise, just one misstep and bye bye. So what he's telling the best move? What is the best
d3.
move? Bishop d3. Okay, something like knight e8. he's gonna probably play bishop g6, but I just want to show you
Okay, knight e8.
what is necessary. For example, imagine bishop g3, and then we can speak.
Hold on.
Example, bishop g3 for white.
Bishop e3. Okay.
Bishop G.
Sorry. Okay.
Bishop g3. If he trades that bishop, you can see we are coming up with our king, or we can take exactly and king d6.
And here we
now
have it on e5.
It's very tough, you know. King e5, knight d6, and then we will start to circulate with our knight. If we manage to break through that blockade, who knows? It is tough. So just keep going, play this game. If it's equal, it is okay, but he need to know how to stop you. For example, let's go king f3, king f3, king e5, king e3, king e5, king e3. And, you know, I'm expecting some zugzwang. So, I don't know, maybe knight g7. Now, something like, you know, bishop f1, bishop e2, I don't know. Yeah, the point is he's very strong with his d pawn, and that is really tough to break through. We are not winning into the pawn endgame. That is the reason why this position is equal. But look at this f5, for example, f5, and now another problem. You cannot allow f4. I think it is even worse for him. And so if he takes, you'll take with your knight, and knight. So the king has to come, I don't know, maybe on d3. And it is difficult. Otherwise, knight b4, knight d4, or now knight d4. So you are progressing all the time, bishop d1, but as you can see, it is very, very tough. So you can play h5, for example, now. Some eye for the eye. Yeah, but he's gonna take nothing special. Oh,
he says it's bad. Yeah, it's bad because he can take.
Better.
So
Yeah,
it's
he'll
take.
b3 is not so much important pawn. Okay, I agree. Nothing happens. He'll keep that blockade and equal.
Balind, you would have played on, right?
Exactly. I'll try to till the maximum. So I cannot lose that game. He can't break my concept, my fortress wall, invisible wall. So only I can play for the win at this moment. As you can see, h5, f5, e5, d4, b4, everything under control. So he doesn't have any chances to break through. Only we can be a winner at this moment. So I don't know if he comes back on d3 or something, maybe some f5 or something to force some progress.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
And Balind,
But it was a nice game.
Thank you for the analysis, of course. And as this was game number 1, I really didn't want to lose game number 1. Yeah, so this was super important for me, and so I was kind of okay with getting that draw. Yeah,
I agree.
That was
It
one
was
of the reasons. Yeah, and especially also we only had 9 minutes 41 left for the whole game with the 30 seconds increment. And I thought, again, it is so easy to mess up something, and then I would be the loser again with Jan. You
completely fine.
Yeah,
Completely fine, Jan. Especially you played some unknown. You were in some unknown territory with these pawns. It was strange for you. Also, you saw that the problem about back rank and do I need to trade or multiple question and exhausting game. So yeah, it is
Yeah,
completely fine
yeah,
with
we
the
are
drawing.
already at 4 hours, so that's
Exactly.
also
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
And
No
Balind, I'd
energy.
like to show you something, and this is really nice within the analysis or the analysis tool from Chess Dojo. If you put in the move times, it gives you a remaining clock time by move, which is really nice. So white is of course the white line, and I am the blue line as we have a dark background. Yeah. So really used all my time. I don't think that I had bad time management or so. I obviously took too long here with the 18 minutes and here with the 20 minutes, absolutely unnecessary. Yeah. But otherwise, I think it was time well spent for this game. Alrighty.